2023, I did not plan to start working remotely. I only needed a way to survive because I was tired, I was broke, and I was exhausted. This video covers my entire journey from when I started learning a skill to when I started making money with the skill. So it all started during a school break back in August 2023. I was in 300 level as at that time. So I was at home because school wasn't in session and I was scrolling through Facebook. And then I stumbled on this flyer that said that there was a 2 days free graphic design training. And I said, why not? Since I'm at home and I'm not doing anything, so I might as well utilize this opportunity to learn something new. I didn't even know what graphic design was as at that time, but I signed up for the training. And after the free training, it was 2 days free training. After the free training, we were told that there was going to be an extensive training, but this time around, it was going to be paid. And the money for that class was 2,000 naira as at that time. And unluckily for me, I could not afford 2,000 naira for the class. That was how broke I was. So I asked my brother if he could lend me 2,000 naira so I don't miss the class. And he did lend me the money and I paid for the class. So after paying for the class, I got to learn about graphic design. I was properly introduced to graphic design. It was really a fun filled experience because getting to learn something new, all of the excitement in the assignments and the projects, it was really a fun experience for me. And I spent the rest of the holiday practicing that skill. But after I went back to school, because of how choked up school activities were for me, I had to stop designing. That was from September till December of 2023. I did not design at all because I was very busy with school. So, 2024 January, things got really, really tough for my family financially. It was so bad to the extent that I would call home and there was no money. Like there was literally nothing to survive on. And then I remember that, yeah, I have a skill that I learned few months back, but I had to dump it. So I went back to pick up the skill, graphic design, and I started practicing again. And I was using 30 days challenge just to stay consistent and get better with it. Meanwhile, on Facebook, there's this lady I had been following on Facebook. Her name is Ekutosi Cynthia. Okay, everybody knows her popularly as Digital Witch. I've been following her for like 2 to 3 years, and I've seen testimonies coming from her students. She teaches remote work skills, and I told myself this should be worth learning because I have been monitoring her closely, and I have seen how she has also grown, and testimonies keep on happening. So I told myself I could be one of these persons giving these testimonies. And what really made me want to register for a class was that when I see even married women, even single mothers, even people that have dropped out of school testifying how remote work has changed their life. And I thought to myself, if these people can testify, what about me that is still a student? I mean, my brain is still firing. So when I inquired about the class, I was told it was 25,000 naira. Where I was going to get 25,000 naira from, I don't know. But I told myself I was going to save. It didn't matter what I had to deny myself, but I had to save for that class. So I saved from January, and then by June, I'd save up at least 18,000 naira. So I had to message her saying that, okay, please, because she posted about having a discount for 18,000 naira with a limited time. And luckily, I had 18,000 naira. So I sent her a message on Facebook and she said that, okay, I can go ahead and pay 18,000 naira. And that was how I used my entire savings for 6 months and paid for that class. I remember that while she was advertising for the class, she said that you need a working laptop to join the class. I did not have a laptop. I did not even know where I was going to get money to afford them, but I told myself that I was not going to let the opportunity pass me by. And also, I was to be starting my IT in June 2024. So I told myself that I was not going to waste this opportunity. I would use these 6 months to learn something that is going to help me to start making money. And I paid for that class. I was very excited when I paid for the class. I made a post about it on Facebook, and then the class started properly, and I wasn't prepared for what I saw. When the class started, on the first day of the class, I had to sub data of like almost 1K because the class lasted for about 4 hours. And I told myself, you use all your money to pay for a class. You did not consider data. And the class was for 6 weeks. During the class, everybody was learning with their laptop, but I was struggling with my Android as at then, my Techno Spark 5 Pro. That's normally sometimes it would press itself. You might be operating the phone, and before you know it, you're operating something else, and it lags terribly. It was really a difficult experience, but I told myself that I didn't care. I was going to try. Most of the tools that we taught in that class, I used my phone to practice with it. We were given assignments, accountability partners. Our people were quite surprised whenever I told them that I am using my phone to join the class, but I kept on practicing. I had a friend then. I spoke to my friend about it, and luckily for me, he said, okay, there's this laptop that is not so good. Maybe you can manage it for the meantime until you get a laptop. So he gave me that laptop. The laptop wasn't very good because you cannot use it without plugging it directly to electricity, right? So, but I was managing it, and then I started going to the school library because okay, there is always light there, and there is free Wi-Fi. So I was going to the school library. I had to speak with my supervisor at my IT place that okay, since I have to come 3 times a week, which is can I choose the days that I come, because the class was normally for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, if I'm not mistaken. I said, okay, can I come on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays so that Tuesdays and Thursdays I can be able to attend the class and not miss any session? And she said yes, and I was very, very thankful for that. So on days that I don't go to my IT place, I would go to school so I can join the class. It was very difficult because I don't even know how I was able to be able to get data to attend that class. But thankfully I had few friends around me, including my brother, who was always sending me money for data whenever I asked. Yes, it was really, really that bad to the extent that if I am sent my feeding money, I have to first of all take out money that I will use to get data, and then I can manage the rest to eat. So bad that some days I wouldn't go for IT because I I didn't have transport to pay to my place of work. So I wouldn't go. So that was how things were so bad. And I had to sit down and ask and tell myself that, okay, I cannot keep on going like this. I have to make serious efforts in order to change the situation because it was going from bad to worse. So at the end of the class, after 6 weeks, excuse me, at the end of the class, after 6 weeks, we were introduced to a platform called LinkedIn. I've never heard about LinkedIn before. I don't even know what it's used for. But we're told that it's a professional networking platform where you can be able to get remote jobs. So I joined that platform. I didn't even know how it was working, but I started talking about what I was doing from July after the class ended on LinkedIn. And I also registered for another training, which was a VA training by ALX, and 8 weeks training, if I am being correct. I joined that training as well. And I was talking about all of my ALX journey, all of my remote work journey on LinkedIn. I kept showing up even on some days that it wasn't very easy. I didn't know how the platform worked, But what I did was that I started mirroring people that were already successful on the platform. Whatever I see them post, I will make similar posts. I will go to their profile, check it out, how it was, and I would make adjustments on my profile. Thankfully, I knew how to design. So, designing my banner, my profile picture, my feature session wasn't really a problem for me. I was still posting and posting, talking about designs, talking about my virtual assistant journey. Everything was as if I was wasting my time because I did not get any single opportunity. But in November, in November of no, before November, I it was October. October 2024 was like the hardest month for me. It was so bad that there was literally no food. Even to eat food was a problem. But I am very thankful for the roommate I had at then. She was actually the one fending for me and like sharing whatever she had with me. So I told myself that I gave myself a deadline in October to get a job. I still told myself that I didn't care how I was going to be able to do that, but I knew that if I didn't get a job in October, it was going to be very, very terrible with me. So I went to ChatGPT and started asking ChatGPT different ways on how I could get a job, and he told me, okay, I can actually pitch to like um founders of companies that okay, I design. So I said I was going to do that. So I went to LinkedIn and then I used the Boolean search to search for founders. And the first person that popped up, I pitched to the person, and the person replied saying that okay, the idea is good, but he's not very financially capable to pay me at the moment. And then the second person I pitched to, this was how I pitched to the person. I told the person that okay, I took my time to go through their company handles and I said that I think their design could be better if the person doesn't mind me going ahead and redesigning three of those designs and to see that if they could work with me. And the person was impressed and said, okay, let's see what you've got. And after redesigning the three designs, it was for a real estate company. I got employed. And when they told me that, okay, they were going to pay, actually, the negotiation was like they were going to pay, was it 20,000 naira? And I looked at it and said that 20,000 naira was very bad. It wasn't going, if I take out the money and get data, how much am I going to have left? So I told them that, okay, let's do 50,000 naira. They negotiated 40, but I stood on 50 and they said, okay, we are going to do 50,000 naira. And October 28th, 2024, I got employed with that company. And after I got employed with that company, I posted it on LinkedIn. And before I knew it, I started getting inquiries from people saying, can you revamp my LinkedIn profile? Can you help me optimize my LinkedIn profile? And that was how I started getting little money. I was very excited when I got that job because having going from not having anything like nothing to earning 50,000 naira a month was it felt like a million as at then. It was such a big news for me, right? It was such a tremendous leap for me. So I started on that job and then I was able to save money because I had inquiries from people asking me if I could also teach them how to design as well. So I started teaching and I was able to save money to get my first laptop in December. Mind you, that the laptop that I was using at then, it got bad barely like a month that I started using it, and I went back to using my phone. So when I got that job, I was basically using my phone to design, but I was able to save up and got a laptop. I think 30th or 31st of December, and I celebrated because only I knew what I had passed through with my phone. So it was a very big win for me. So 2025 started and I kept building on LinkedIn. I kept getting recommendations. And then something very, very terrible happened to me. Unluckily for me, my LinkedIn account got restricted and it felt like my whole world had crashed. I appealed and appealed and appealed, but they said nothing could be done about it. I violated their rule. I opened another account and it still got restricted, so I had to go start building on X. I started building my brand on and position myself on X. This was like the most this what happened afterwards is something that is going to be very shocking. In April, 1 month after my LinkedIn account had been restricted, someone reached out to me saying that someone is requesting for your phone number on your WhatsApp number on LinkedIn. Do I give the person? I said, okay, fine. And then this lady texted me, and I remember her to be like one of my connections then. Although we haven't talked in private, like in the DMs, we only like engage on each other's posts. And she said that I have a particular gig. Someone reached out to me. It's a design gig, but my hands are full at the moment. Is it something that you can take? As at that time, I was writing first, my final year first semester exams, and I told myself that okay, I could take the gig. And she said she was going to share my contact with the person. And um, not long afterwards, this man texted me. It was in the evening, and we scheduled a meeting for 7:30. I My laptop was just about 32%, but I was praying that okay, the battery was going to be able to take me through the meeting, and thankfully it did because it wasn't long. He told me everything about the company and if I could be able to do the job, and I said yes. And he said, okay, I'm going to give you a test. Can you do this and submit this night? And I said, is it possible I submit in the morning? And he said, okay, fine, you can submit in the morning. There was no light. It was around 8 p.m. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do? There was no hope that there was going to be light. So I called my friend that stayed in the hostel and asked her, is it possible I come to the hostel because I have like an urgent design work? She said, okay, fine. So I packed my bag. It was very risky where I lived, leaving the house as at that time, but I had to take the risk. So I packed my bag and I left. I went to the hostel and I was able to complete the job that night, sent it in the morning. He was very impressed and we hopped on another call that morning and he said, okay, it's a contract job that is going to be for 3 months and this is what we are going to pay you. When I heard the amounts, I was I was just dumbstruck because it was in dollars and I said, wow. So these dollars that a lot of people are earning, I finally get to earn it. It wasn't something compared to the current salary that I was having, that I was currently earning. It was, I was really, really dumbfounded, honestly. And he told me, we are going to work for 3 months and this is how much we are going to pay you. Sent me my contract and I signed. And it was on the 13th. On 14th, I started working immediately. So I had to quit working at the former place where I was working because the salary was nothing compared to what I was earning, and I did not want to be distracted. I wanted to focus on this one. So I started working back in April, and after a week of working, he told me that we are very impressed with what you do. So we have decided that it's no longer going to be a contract. They are going to start working with our company full time, and my salary was also increased by 50% again. Everything felt very very funny because I mean going from earning 50,000 naira monthly to earning over 1 point something million naira monthly wasn't something that I had expected was going to happen to me in 2025. So I started working with the company, and from that moment, that was when my life my life dramatically changed. My life dramatically changed. It took a different direction entirely. Honestly, I was hoping on okay, I was going to build on from 50K, okay, get a better job or negotiate for a higher salary, let's say 100K, 150, and keep going from there. But everything changed within split seconds. And I've been working with that company for like 7 months now, and it's just been amazing. From that moment, I was able to move to a better place. I was able to get set up my workspace. I got a table, got a chair. I was even able to get an iPhone that whenever I see people get using iPhone, I wasn't really disturbed because I knew that one day I was going to be able to afford this, and being able to afford an iPhone that costs over 1 million with ease. I didn't struggle to get it. It wasn't something that I knew was going to be possible within that particular time frame. But I would say that the job actually changed my life, honestly, because I didn't know that I was going to be working with global talents from people all over the world and getting to meet new people while working remotely. I mean, I could literally sit at my house and then turn on my laptop and work. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to bother myself about having to pay for transport. I don't have to bother myself about having to leave my house. I can stay at home and actually make money. And from then I started, okay, helping my family out, sending money whenever possible. My parents didn't believe it. Nobody around me could believe that my life could actually change so fast, because everybody saw me when I was building. Because one thing I did was that as I was learning the skill, I was posting everything I was learning on Facebook, on LinkedIn before my account got restricted, even on X. Everybody had been following my journey. So everybody knew me right from when I started with literally my phone to when I got this job. You get, in the past 6 months, I've made over $8,000, money that I never imagined in my wildest dream that I was going to make that amount of money. The reason I am sharing this video is because I have seen what is possible when you learn something and commit to it. I have seen what is possible if only you can take the bull by the horn and tell yourself that my life is going to change. If I didn't make that decision in October of 2024, that I don't care what it was going to take me, but I was going to get a job, trust me, I wouldn't have gotten a job. But I made that decision and said that I was going to get a job no matter what. And if I wasn't building in public and talking about everything that I was learning publicly, I'm not sure that that lady would have reached out to me even 1 month after my account got restricted and referred me to that job. I have seen what is possible, because making this kind of money as a 23-year-old, it is not everybody that, most 23-year-olds are not even making this amount of money. But I have seen what is possible when you decide to learn a skill. It can change your life if you commit to it. That is why I am always advocating that people should learn a skill. It is never too late. Give it, like I said, I got seriously with my skill at the beginning of 2024, and in 1 year later, 1 year later, my life was transformed. My life drastically changed. So I am always advocating that you should pick up one skill and give it at least 1 year and watch your life transform, because it has changed my life, and I believe that it can also change your life. I have seen what is possible with learning the digital skill and what is possible with working remotely. So I am going to keep advocating for it. If you have not picked up a skill, please do so. Before the end of 2025, decide on what you want to commit to in 2026, and make sure that you build in public, and make sure that you document your journey, and make sure that you commit to it and watch your life change. If this video helps you, because I just wanted to share my whole experience from when I started with no skill to when I started seeing results. If this video helped you, please make sure to share it to someone else so that the person can actually get inspired to follow that direction and that path that I followed. And make sure that you follow me, because I'm going to be sharing more life changing content about learning digital skills and working remotely. See you in my next video.